about being out at a rave or, doing ketamine out.
No, it's like clinically in
this
that.
This is in a clinical setting with a guide, with a therapist or coach. The way ketamine works, it connects you to your higher self. Once you have the experience, then the integration begins. And that's work. Like you're excavating and getting in there and really looking at what's been holding you back.
Let's talk Tales. With over 25 years of coaching experience, this Tales with Taylor guest has earned elite level status as a certified high performance coach, making a profound impact on the lives of her high level clients worldwide, including CEOs, leading entrepreneurs, small business owners, Olympians, renowned medical doctors, dentists, therapists, and many more. No matter what her clients seek to heal or shift, she stands ready to empower and guide them with an open, unbiased, and warm presence. Her personal experience with ketamine's life-changing outcomes drives her passion for this transformative healing. That commitment propelled her to create Conscious Ketamine Assisted Coaching and Conscious Ketamine Coaching Academy. The mission of the Academy is to contribute to the healing of our world by empowering health and wellness practitioners and coaching professionals with the knowledge, skills, and heart needed to provide safe, ethical, and transformative ketamine experiences. I'm welcome to have on the show today Bronwyn Davis. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Really fun.
Excellent. Well, you are already just like so matching in your brand. And so I always love to know, the tale behind your brand. And really that tale I feel starts with what was that experience or the tale that you experienced to have you find ketamine therapy for yourself?
Yeah. So about 4.5 years ago, found myself in burnout. And I was running my own business as a coach. I've been a coach for over 25 years. I was also working with 20 to 30 high-performing coaching clients per week. So my schedule was really full, as well as it was a time when I experienced a cyber attack. I was the target of identity theft. And it was just one of those things that it was like, it hit, like my phone started blowing up with notifications saying, this account is hacked, this one is hacked, this, and it was just like within a matter of minutes. So it was a cyber attack. It wasn't personal, but I took it personally because it's like all of a sudden my life in just moments was flipped upside down. On top of that, because my resistance was low and I was up late at night trying to I had to change all my accounts. There's hundreds of accounts to be changing. So I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't anything. Well, my resistance was low and I got long COVID on top of that. Then on top of that, I was diagnosed with skin cancer. So it was like this it was such a weird experience to go through it. But at the time, I was like, I don't feel mentally, emotionally, physically right. So I did what most people do. We seek out conventional talk therapy, as well as I was working with a naturopathic MD. And in conventional talk therapy, I went through a program. It was 2 weeks. Being a high performer, I'm like, yeah, let's just get in there. Let's get what we need. And then I'm out. So it was a 2-week intensive with a therapist for 4 hours a day.
Wow.
And I cleared a lot of stuff out that I needed to clear out. But I remember coming home from that experience and I was like, I feel okay, but I'm nowhere near back to where I know I could be and where I wanted to be. And in the meantime, I had to release all my clients, all my high-performing clients. I wasn't able to be the mom that I wanted to be. I was like a shell of myself at the time. And so I knew I needed to get back. I not only for myself, but for my kids and for my clients.
Mm-hmm.
So my naturopathic MD recommended that I seek out just some education from a doctor called Dr. Gabor Mate. And he is deep. His research includes trauma, PTSD. And so as I was researching him and really figuring out what he's all about, he started talking about psychedelics. And he was saying that's a therapeutic psychedelics, not like just, and you have to know, like at the time, I do not drink, I do not do drugs, anything, like nothing. So for me to step into that, it shows like I was so desperate to get myself back that I would have tried anything. Mm-hmm. And so looking into it, I looked into what's legal because, I'm a professional. I want to, So the only thing back then, 4.5 years ago, was therapeutic ketamine. So I sought out a guide, a therapist to help me. And that experience of undergoing the ketamine treatment absolutely changed my life in one afternoon.
Wow. So can you talk to me a little bit more what that treatment involves? Because I hear ketamine treatment, and I'm like, I don't know, is it an injection? Is it something that you take, your pill? Like what exactly? Can you explain a little bit more?
Sure. So ketamine is a dissociative anesthetic. Mm-hmm. And it's been around for over 50 years, and it's been legal, the entire time. It's been legal. It's used in every emergency room in the country.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Every day, daily. It's women, kids, anyone who comes into the emergency room and they need some sort of anesthetic, they're going to be using ketamine some of the time. Mm-hmm. So it's nothing that's not being used. It's also on the World Health Organization's essentials list. So it is something very, very safe. I'd say in the last few decades, they started noticing that the patients who were coming into the hospital and receiving ketamine, as opposed to maybe another anesthetic, they started to notice their mood lifting. And they started to notice that when they were going through whatever they were going through to put them in the emergency room, that they were coming out of it quicker. They were feeling better. They were just had a better outlook.
Yeah.
So they started researching what it was doing for their mental health. And now, over 20 years now, they have so much research about how therapeutic ketamine helps with depression, anxiety, OCD, PTSD, and it is being called the biggest breakthrough in depression research in the last 50 years.
Wow.
So it is legit. It's safe, legal, and it is transforming the world. It really is. It's just now it's a matter of it becoming more mainstream. Mm-hmm. And I know there's, a lot of negative that's out there.
I would say, because I bet something that comes to mind is like the Matthew Perry situation. So,
exactly.
Tell me when someone says, well, what about that? How is working with you differently, or how can we ensure that doesn't happen to us,
Yeah, well, that's actually a perfect conversation. I love it when people ask me about it because the situation with Matthew Perry is completely different from what I do with my clients. First off, when Matthew Perry passed away, he had 70 times more ketamine in his system than you would for a knee surgery.
Wow. Okay.
So he was clearly overdosed. Mm-hmm. Second of all, with Matthew Perry, he started off, well, it's been a long history. If you read it in his book, he had been an addict for decades. and struggled with his addiction. So he was also, it's now going to be, there's been arrests made in his situation. There were people who were not taking good care of him. And they were, we'll find out, of course, it's going to go to the courts and all that. But it was clearly a mismanagement of his care. And there are people who have been arrested because of it, doctors and others. So what I do is very, very different. First off, very low dose. Okay. It's very low dose. And
like, would I be able to do a session with you and then go back to work? Or do I need to take the whole day off? Or, what would be those types of side effects per se?
Yeah.
That I have to prepare for?
Yeah, no, you would, the way it works is, and it's clinical as well. It's not just, it's not the way I use it in context. A client will come to me, and most of my clients, they come to me because they're feeling stuck. Okay. They're feeling like they know there's another level to access. My clients are more high-functioning anxiety, maybe high-functioning depression, but they're running businesses. They are out in the world. They have families. So they're more high-functioning. I'm not a therapist, and there is a difference between coaching and therapy. Therapists take their client where they are today, and in general, they look back, and they look back into their childhood, back into their trauma, and they work on that, which is so beneficial. Like we need therapists. But a coach takes their client where they are today, and they look forward, and they're future focused. So my clients are they're not just trying to get to baseline. They're above baseline. And so when a client comes to me and they're feeling stuck, we make sure it's a good fit. And I probably turn away about a third of the people who come to me, because not everyone's going to be a good fit.
So what makes a good fit?
A good fit is someone who is a good fit for a coach, a ketamine coach, I believe, is someone who is, as I described, just they're above baseline. They're operating in their daily life. They just know that they feel stuck. They may be going through a big transition. They may be just going through a divorce. They may be, becoming an empty nester. They may be running. I have clients who are CEOs running 3 companies, and they're just trying to, make sense of all of it, and make sure that they're staying healthy through it all. So it just depends, but they're more high performing, I would say.
Okay.
Those who go to therapists, they may be dealing with more severe, like maybe depression or anxiety. So I'm trained as a coach, and what separates my clients too, they're ready to move forward. So they may have been to a therapist and maybe have done a lot of healing, but they're now ready to create the roadmap for their future.
Right.
So then once we establish, okay, that's a good fit, then I introduce them to my partner. I have a medical prescriber who does a medical assessment with them, make sure that physically they're okay, make sure there's no contraindications, make sure there's nothing that would be anything that would be unsafe for them.
Excellent.
And then from there, they get their prescription, and it's a sublingual. So it's under the tongue. So then they bring their prescription to my office. Okay. And then within my office and in the setting, that's when they would put these sublinguals under the tongue, compounded therapeutic ketamine under their tongue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a tale of a breakthrough that you helped someone experience or you experienced yourself after a session?
Yeah, well, I have many. But I want to share with you, I think this is important to share with you my breakthrough. So I shared with you how I sought out the therapist and the guide to help me with my very first therapeutic ketamine session. And what I discovered in my first session was subconsciously, now imagine all those things had happened to me to bring me to that point. The cyber attack, the COVID, the skin cancer diagnosis, all of that to bring me to this point. And what was happening was subconsciously, what I discovered in my therapeutic session, my ketamine session, was that subconsciously, I was afraid to die.
Aren't we all subconsciously?
Yes, as it turns out, yes. But what it was doing for me, how it was playing out in my life, was that I was playing small. I was holding myself back. I was not going for it. And in this therapeutic ketamine session, I got to energetically kind of experience what it was like to die. Energetically. And when I did, it was the most beautiful, amazing experience on the other side. And by the time I got out of my experience, which lasts about maybe 60 to 90 minutes.
Okay.
And it wasn't the entire time going through that one scene, but what I came out of that, now that I know energetically what it feels like to die, I was like, wow, okay, if that's the worst that's going to happen here, I have nothing to fear. And I came out of it and I was like, wow, I could sense I was playing small. I knew I was holding myself back. I wasn't going for it in my life and really conquering all my fears and everything. And I came out of that experience. And on that day, I vowed I will never play small again. I will live out loud. I will speak my truth. I will just be my most authentic self in the world. Yeah. And it transformed me in that one afternoon of that experience because I got to see so clearly what was holding me back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It makes me think I don't know. I wish I could have seen like what you saw. Are you religious? Did you see like the hand of God reach out to you and you knew you'd be safe? What was exactly that made you feel like? What was that energetic feeling that you felt?
Yeah, it was super cool, actually. So again, ketamine is a dissociative anesthetic, so it just feels very calm. It feels very safe in the experience. Now, everyone experiences it differently, okay? But what I saw in my experience was, okay, now remember, it's all energetic going on, but I'm seeing an angel. Okay. An angel was guiding me and I could tell. So it was guiding me toward like this little eye of the needle is what I would call it. And I intuitively knew that to pass through that meant death. And so I was sitting there going, no, and we were like kind of flying through the air. And I was like, no, I don't want to go there. And yet the angel was taking me through. We made it through. We went through and I was like really scared and holding myself back, but I went through. And then it was all of a sudden this world opened up. And it was just the most incredible experience. It was like I could just see beautiful colors. It was just a beautiful place to be. Like it felt safe. It felt just loving.
Yeah.
And it just embraced me and it was warm and it was amazing. So being in that experience, I was like, wow, I have nothing to fear.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's really like that, I don't know, but I felt it was so real. And energetically, it just felt like, wow, if that's what it's going to be like, I have nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like an amazing experience you'd want to repeat over and over again. But is ketamine addictive in that way where you're going to want to crave that feeling again? Or
It's not.
okay.
Because in working with therapeutic, no, again,
Mhm.
we're not talking about being out at a rave or, doing ketamine out.
No, it's like
publicly.
clinically in
This
that,
is
but
in a clinical
yeah.
setting with a guide, with a therapist or a coach. The way ketamine works, it connects you to your higher self. And it is so deep in what you learn. Like, it's work. It's like once you have the experience, then the integration begins. And that's work. Like you're excavating and getting in there and really looking at what's been holding you back.
An internal SWOT analysis of sorts.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So in those low doses, it's not something where, oh my God, I want to go do this every day. Because it's like, wow, you get to see yourself. You get to like really take a very thorough assessment. And especially with my program where I take my clients, they do it one time, and then I take them through a 30-day process.
Okay.
So they're getting 30 days of integration coaching support.
Okay.
So it's not like just little fluff, let's go out and do it. It's
right. It's
we're
not just take a dose, we'll figure it all out. It's you're taking a dose now. Okay, let's assess what did we learn from the session.
Exactly.
And then you are, doing some implementation for 30 days. Then after that 30 days, what happens?
So by the time we're done with that 30 days, my clients, it's like we have left no stone unturned. And it's not 30 days necessarily every day. It is 30 days of coaching, integration coaching support. So we have 3 scheduled sessions and they're all worked because ketamine it activates your neuroplasticity. So what that means is our brains, like, okay, they loop. So just so you know, each person has on average about 60,000 thoughts per day.
I believe it. That even sounds low with how much our monkey brains are going all over the place.
Exactly. Well, 95% of those thoughts are the same ones we had yesterday and the same ones we had the day before and the month before and the year before. So we're carrying along all this stuff. And on top of that, 85% of those thoughts are negative. So it's no wonder we find ourselves stuck at times. So with this, imagine, let's just say there's a new fallen snow. Let's say you're a skier and you just are there at the time with a big snowfall. So when you go out and you ski and all of a sudden you're like, wow, like it's fresh, it's a clean canvas. And then from there, you get to make the new tracks. But the day before that snowfall, you would have seen tracks all over the place, the same tracks people were skiing on. But ketamine gives a reset and a reboot so you can resume your life.
Wow.
And so with that, with the integration coaching, I help my clients to reset the thoughts that they were having that were keeping them stuck. And we reframe them into something more positive and something that's going to move them forward.
Okay. Do you need to have someone come in with like I need to get to this goal, or can they just come in with, there's something, I don't know what, but I know I can do better?
It's both scenarios. It's both. I have clients who say, I don't know, I know there's something going on, but I can't access it. And it's true. We can't access what's in the subconscious. We can't. We only know 5% are conscious thoughts. And we can sit there and really look at if there's anything in any of our lives that we don't have yet, or we want to achieve and we don't have it yet, there is something in your subconscious that's preventing you from having it. Because we really, if we wanted it, we could have it. Because we would work toward it.
Yeah.
But there's something subconscious, which means we don't know what it is that's holding us back. So when they experienced the ketamine, just like very similar to how I saw it very clearly. Like once I was in the experience, I was like, boom, there it is.
Interesting.
But I couldn't have known that. I couldn't have known that prior to experiencing it. I would not have known that subconsciously I was afraid of death.
And that was what was holding you back and keeping you small and things of that sort. Because, like I said, subconsciously, we all have the fight or flight. We all, our bodies naturally want to stay alive. So to me, I was like, well, yeah, we all subconsciously have a fear of death, but maybe not to the extent where it's scaring you so much to hold you back.
Exactly.
So, interesting.
Exactly. So ketamine, that's what got me so excited about therapeutic ketamine, is that it transformed my life.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I wanted to find out everything I could about ketamine. So I went through an extensive and intensive training. And in the training, I was with a doctor and therapists, and I was the only coach. And so I didn't know how I was going to really implement this. But by the time I got through the training, I was like, this belongs in the coaching space as well. It had been in the therapy space. Ketamine-assisted psychotherapy is something that has been around for, I think, about almost 10 years maybe. But never before had they put it together, ketamine-assisted coaching. And that's where I came in and put the two together, so that those working with therapeutic ketamine, they don't only have to go backwards and work on their trauma, which is very beneficial. There's also a roadmap to be created for your future.
Definitely. I would love to take a moment to talk about your brand and why did you choose the bird image, the hummingbird image?
Well, first off, let me just take a step back and look at the ocean behind it.
Yes.
Okay. I grew up in Newport Beach and love the ocean. I love water. For many years, I either lived on the ocean or I just moved from living on a lake here in town. And I just love water. So I knew it had to incorporate water. And then with the hummingbird symbolism, first of all, I love birds. I love what they represent. Hummingbird is all about flight. It's about hope and newness. And so that seemed to really make sense. And then the conscious ketamine. So it was important to include the conscious part. Because we're not just talking about ketamine, This is conscious, like being really conscious about not only how you're taking it, but the conscious mind,
Kind of the why you're taking it. You're not just taking it for a good time. You're taking it to unlock the areas within your subconscious that you are unable to see within your normal conscious life is how I kind of take it.
Exactly. Yes. And so very quickly after I started, I originally, when I came out of that training, I started my first business, which was conscious ketamine assisted coaching. And I was working with one-on-one with my clients. Well, very, very quickly, Taylor, I saw like there's not enough of me to go around to do the work, especially right now. There's no better time in history to be a certified conscious ketamine coach. And I'll tell you why.
Why is that?
Yeah. First off, we have a ketamine treatment industry that is poised to grow 9 times its current size in the next 5 years. Wow. So therapeutic ketamine is gaining steam, and there's so much research backing that up. So we have the incline of the ketamine treatment industry. We also have the incline of the coaching industry. It is $1 billion. It grows at $1 billion per year.
Wow.
It's currently at $6.5 billion. And it grows at $1 billion per year. So we have those two. Then the third piece, we are experiencing a mental health crisis like we have never seen before. We haven't even hit the tip of the iceberg on what the fallout is from COVID, from any of the other, things that are going on.
Unrest of things,
That's going on in the world. So the three coming together, it's huge. It's like the trifecta.
And I'd say 3.5, because with that, I do feel like there has been a switch in the way that people look for mental health. I think the stigma is breaking down, and that people say, no, it's totally fine for me to say I'm not fine and I need help. And so I think it's also that factor in the trifecta. It's not just that mental health is having, there's so much more mental health disease and issues. It's that people are more than ever, I think, okay with recognizing that they have a mental health condition that they can then seek help for.
Yeah. We're talking about it more and more. It used to be something so private, like where people would just be like, they would suffer alone. And now it's like we talk about it freely. And I love that. So thank you for adding that in as well. Yeah. It's so true.
Well, years ago, I had the pleasure of helping a physician in North Phoenix with the Forgotten Healthcare. So we actually made a documentary series talking about just that. And that, you physically hurt yourself, you pick up the phone right away. You're mentally not right. It may take you a decade and sometimes even longer or not at all to actually pick up that phone or ask for help. And so,
I love that. I love that you see that picture of it, because it's true. And to see the shift now where we're now offering mental health treatment in kids, in class now, and students, and and
employee benefit packages now. You see that's a different option. There's the healthcare, but then there's also mental health care as another benefit option that you can choose.
Yes. Which, of course, I'm like, yes, yay that we're at that point. So very quickly, it became clear to me that this was way too much for just me. And I then pivoted. I continued taking on my clients, and I was really seeing a lot of success with them with the way that I was structuring it. It was a coaching structure as opposed to a therapy structure. It was, again, the 30 days, taking my client through and helping them reprogram their thoughts and the thought patterns. So I wanted to make sure that anyone who wanted therapeutic ketamine was going to get it safely, effectively, and just to make sure that there were others trained that were going to do it in the right way, ethically. So I created the Conscious Ketamine Coaching Academy. And I now train medical professionals, so doctors, nurses, health and wellness practitioners, like licensed massage therapists, sound therapists, and coaches, life coaches. I've even trained death doulas. I now train them in my now proven proprietary framework that I created, and it has been hugely successful. So now, and it's the only one in the country. There's no one else who have put together ketamine and coaching strictly. There's psychedelic, coaching and all that. But I, very early on in my business model, I consciously chose to go with therapeutic ketamine because it is legal. It's something we can talk about freely.
Right. You're not doing your private ayahuasca, on an island or anything like that. Yeah.
Which stems from that experience that I had in my first session where I'd been holding myself back and, living under the radar and all that. And I said, okay, if I'm going to be living out loud and proud and speaking, I need to choose something that I don't have to be in the back alley going, psst, 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 this is what I do. So I consciously chose therapeutic ketamine as what I would put my, stake in the ground for. And since then, it has been amazing and unbelievable, because now students are just they're Googling. They're finding me on Google. They're putting, they're saying ketamine coaching, and I'm now coming up in the top search, and then they see, oh, there's an academy.
Yeah.
So it's been working out really, really well.
That is excellent. So other than attending your academy, for someone who wants to get in this industry, what would be another recommendation you would have to someone?
Yeah, so I would highly recommend. I still do one-on-one. So I still have my private clients. If there's anyone out there that is really feeling stuck, I'm open to having a free clarity call. I speak to anyone who wants to have some answers. Whether you decide to work with me or not, I'm here to answer any questions that you have, because it is new. It's something that, people have a lot of questions around. Yeah. And so I'm just open. I do offer that. Even if they go on my website is www.ketamineassistedcoaching.com. They will see there's a tab there. It says book a clarity call. And with that, I offer, whatever they want to know.
Right.
I answer questions and see if it's a good fit for them.
And then for people who want to get in the industry, so actually learn in your academy, what would be a recommendation you would have for someone who wants to start a business in this industry?
Well, there's so much opportunity. I would say, first off, get trained, get certified. By the time my students go through the academy, they are certified conscious ketamine coaches. Okay. So they have a certification under their belt. They've been thoroughly trained. My training, it's about a 10-week training, but it includes a 5-day experiential retreat.
Oh, wow.
So that's here in Scottsdale. They get the opportunity to step in confidently as the coach, and then they also get to experience what it's like being the client. So that is what separates me from any other program out there, is that experiential retreat is included in the academy. So once they have completed, so it has been live, where I've been training live, but now it's moving to an online course, a certification course.
Nice.
And then the actual experiential retreat, they have to come to the location that the retreat is.
Yes. Yeah.
So in order for them to call themselves a certified conscious ketamine coach. So they might go through the course, and then I, have regular retreats that they book into.
Nice.
And get it scheduled. And then, so by the time they're done, they're ready to be a certified conscious ketamine coach. So I would make sure that to answer your question, they need to be certified. I would say. Yeah. So that they have the credentials behind them, because there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot to think about that most people they wouldn't know. A student, or someone may say, well, I've done ketamine, so I can then do it to someone else, help someone else. It's really not the case. There's so much behind the scenes that needs to happen to make sure that not only that the coach is safe, but also for sure the client.
Definitely. Like, one major question I have too is, where do you source the ketamine?
So it is a compounded prescription drug. So when my clients come to me and they go to the medical prescriber, and she does her medical assessment, she calls it into a compounding pharmacy. Okay. So it can be that way, or there's other ways. So ketamine.
I guess the benefits, again, of being legal is that you do have some options there. Huh?
Yeah. So there are other ways. Now, I only work with sublingual with my clients, but if you go to a ketamine clinic, let's say, they do IV. So they give you IV Mine includes like no needles. You don't,
Okay, I like
because
knowing
I'm not
that.
trained to do that.
I hate
you know?
needles. They scare me.
Yeah, exactly. There's also, so there's IV, there's intermuscular, so IM, so that would be like in the arm.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That's another way. There's also a nasal spray. But in my office and the way I work with my clients, it's sublingual because we can very, very accurately dose. If we do, like, let's say the nasal spray, you don't know how much is falling forward, falling back. You don't know where you are with dosing. But with the they're called troches, and they're like these little squares, and you can very precisely know exactly. Like I know exactly how much my clients have ingested.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to guess and check necessarily when it comes to things like that.
Exactly.
So, awesome.
But most of my clients, their first time, they've never done anything. So I always start very slow and go low and go slow, so that it's just a really pleasant experience for them, and they learn a lot about themselves in the process.
It sounds beautiful. It definitely sounds like a beautiful experience.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing. And it's something that I feel very, very blessed and very proud to be able to offer to my clients. I've been a coach for 25 years. Without using ketamine, for 20 of those years. So I got to see how far a client can go and how long it took them. Now with ketamine, the time has been escalated. It has been like we're taking what could have taken months or even years, and we're shrinking it down to like weeks.
That quick start in me is liking what I'm hearing there.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm a quick start to a fault, you know.
Yeah.
High achiever where it's like, let's get this done today and things. And so that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see it in every single one of my clients. Like there's no one that doesn't have any sort of a shift or a transformation. And the way I work with my clients is I'm working on their nervous system from the moment they walk into my office. Like it's very important because we want to make sure that everything has been calm and, so that the ketamine can go as deep as it needs to go to get them the answers that they want and need. So it's super cool because now not only do I have clients here in Phoenix, but I have clients fly in from all over the country to come and work with me. So they'll come in, they'll fly into the Phoenix airport, get a hotel, and then they bring their prescription to my office. And then they spend a few days and then they're off again,
All right.
off back home.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
So, Bronwyn, one question I do have is, what are some tales that you've ever read or heard? So, your favorite movies or books that have inspired you, or you just truly enjoy to watch and give you a smile?
So, I am a personal growth junkie. I love personal growth. I love working on myself. I love going to that next level. I am a high performer. So I always have, books that I'm like, that will help me advance. And then, of course, I love sharing that as well with my clients as I'm reading them. But I have worked with, are you familiar with Brendon Burchard?
That name sounds familiar, but it's not.
Yeah,
catching
he
on at the
is
moment.
like one of the top personal growth coaches in the world.
Okay.
And I have been trained by him for the last 7 years, and I actually coach his clients. So I love keeping up with, making sure that I'm operating at my highest. To be coaches to these high profile, high performing people, I have to make sure that I'm at the top of my game.
Yeah.
So I love Brendon Burchard's work. High Performing Habits is a wonderful book. I love reading that. He has another one called The Charged.
Okay.
And that's a brilliant book. So anything that kind of keeps me moving forward, it makes me giddy. Like, I love it.
Well, I have two I'll add to my list because I also love personal development books. Those are the ones that I always have on my list. So
Yeah.
I have to add those ones to my list.
Yes. Well, we're like kindred spirits here.
Yes. And if you were to write a book, what would be the title of that tale?
So I actually am in the process
Okay.
of writing a book, and I'm writing it all on conscious ketamine.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be titled Conscious Ketamine Coaching, and to help, just really help those out there who are struggling, who really know that something is stopping them from being their best. Like, I'm involved in a lot of networking groups. Like, I'm part of the Scottsdale Chamber. I now joined the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce. I'm a NAWBO member where I met you, and I love NAWBO, National Association of Women Business Owners. I'm part of the Holistic Chamber. And whenever I'm out speaking, I just want to like say, if to everyone in the room, if you are not waking up with the most excitement and joy for your day, there's something going on. You may have gotten used to just kind of like that malaise or just the feeling of just kind of getting through and just moving along through life, just not feeling the joy. You may have gotten used to that, but there is, I promise, there is another layer for you that you can't quite access because you've gotten so used to just ho-hum. Yeah, life's it's okay.
Staying in the comfort zone.
It's okay. It's fine. And I just say, if you're not waking up just going, yay, another day, let's go, that's something I can help them with. Because that is what life is about. We're not meant to just wake up and have just racing thoughts and feel down and be like, oh God, another day. It's meant to be like, yay, like I get to live another day.
Yeah.
You know, I woke up today and I'm feeling amazing. That's how life should be. So that's why I think therapeutic ketamine could be for anyone who is tired of the same old, and is ready for a boost, is ready to go to that next level and resume a very joyful and energetic and thrilling life, because that's really what life is.
Well, every time I have had the opportunity to be around you, you are always a ray of sunshine. You are always smiling. You are always so much, so energetic and full of just positive energy. So ketamine was able to do it for someone who was working with, high achieving coaches. And another question, and a final question I actually have, is how are you able to do it while also being a present mom? Because a lot of us, we want to have our cake and eat it too. And it can be pretty dang hard to have that balance of work and life. And so what would be that suggestion you have to, fellow moms who are also, navigating the busyness of life and business?
Yeah, that's such a beautiful question. Now, my kids are older now. They are adults. So they're out of the house. So that does give me a little more freedom. Mm-hmm. But I would still say, I think there is nothing more beautiful and more inspiring for a child to see their mother or father happy in what they're doing. So I would say get really, really clear on what it is you like and go for it. And yeah, it's a juggle. Yes, you're going to have to figure it out. But to me, I just remember my mom when I was younger. She had she had a career in real estate, and she loved it.
Nice.
And that from a very young age inspired me. I knew one day I wanted to have my own business and to, be a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But my mom, I would just see her joy and the way she loved making sure, people loved their house and she would help them find that perfect house for them. Mm-hmm. But she would come home so joyful and excited. And that's what I would recommend to anyone. Whatever it is that they're doing, make sure it brings you so much joy, because the kids will feel that.
Yeah.
And even if maybe they don't get to spend as much time with the kids, the quality will be there, because when they're with their kids, they're going to be like so happy and feel fulfilled. So that's what I would say. But again, my kids are older now, and they got to see me as I was, in my career.
Yeah.
And they did good. They turned out really good.
That is good to hear. That is good. And I think what you say, though, is important, is that making sure you're only doing things that you enjoy. I know, with my kids being a little younger, too, they know sometimes we have to go to work. Oh, don't go in the office, if we're working. Yeah. But I remind them, too, we do enjoy what we get to do, though. We made this choice, and I'm sorry I can't play this game for this moment, but give me an hour, and then I'll totally play that game with you. And you're right, that being able to be truly present when you're able. And so and that's what they feel. I believe that's what the kids feel. It's not like when you're with them you're on your phone. No, you've got to do all your thing. You're creating your business, you're building it, and then when you're with them you are 100% with them. I'm even like that with my partner. I have to make sure that when I'm with him, I'm solely with him. But I do that because I've already done the work I need to do for the day. And then I'm able to be with him totally present. Yeah, totally present and conscious on what they're doing. And so always be conscious on what you choose to do in life, whether it's in business or in life. And if you feel stuck and you're not sure why you're stuck, no matter whether it's a life goal, a business goal, or you're even not sure what the goal is, it sounds like conscious ketamine is definitely a solution to consider. So we're going to have all of your links in the show notes of taleswithtaylor.com, but please share with everyone, how can they stay connected with all the amazing things that you're doing? How can they learn more about your programs and get connected?
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I would say probably the best place to start is at my website, ketamineassistedcoaching.com. You can start a dialogue with me through there. Also, all of my socials. I have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, and it is at Conscious Ketamine. So I'm open. I love people when they email me. My email is Bronwyn, that's BRONWYN at BronwynDavis.com. I'd love to talk to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. You've been such a pleasure and a wealth of information. You definitely got me ketamine curious. So we might have to have a continued conversation off camera.
Awesome.
And so thank you again. And so don't stay stuck. If there's goals that you want to reach, you have the ability to do it. You just have to be able to see it for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Tales with Taylor. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Financial Potion YouTube channel to never miss an episode.